All right, guys, welcome to my crazy room of all sorts of stuff. Oh, back here, I think this is where a bunch of the foot pedals are going to land. We've been collecting them, and Connor needs more foot pedals, I think. Now that's the other collection we're going to be having in here. So I tore the room apart and started organizing it yesterday, and away we go. Now, we're going to do some chord push-ups to start. I'm not going to tell you the name of the song that we're going to be working on, because a lot of this is going to be about chord knowledge and comfort. And so based on the workshop that Barb shared with me, I got all inspired, and I've got a different song to do. So nothing's posted on my website yet either. I didn't have time to put it up, so you can't even find it there. All right, here we go. This song is going to get you comfortable with a lot of different G chord shapes and some D7. So I want you to make a G6 chord. G6, just 2 fingers. That's it, okay? Now, things that you're going to notice with this particular song, your bunny ear finger is going to be moving around a lot, making different chords. Okay, and I'll talk about the strum pattern we're going to use after we've gotten some chords going. So G6, give it a strum. Okay, and now just go to your plain old D7, just this one. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of that hopping. So back to G6. Now, am I loud enough? I feel like everything got a little bit moved around in here in terms of volume when the guys were in here recording. Okay, so G6, D7. Let's just hop back and forth from those two. G6, D7. G6, if you move it back 1 fret, you get yourself a G diminished. I think Barb might have done that one. No, it was a C diminished. Oh, G diminished. Is that one that you used last time with that other workshop? I think maybe, yeah. Okay, so G diminished. Back up to G6. G6. G diminished. D7. Hands off. Oh, we're just going to go for this. It's going to get ready. A total chord workout this morning. Okay, G6. Good. Okay, take your hands off. D7. Barb, when you talked about how that guy would get you guys to take your hands off, I do that all the time. It's so much fun. Boop. Okay, back to G6. Hands off. G diminished. Oh. That's on the 1st fret. Okay. Now I'm going to show you 2 different strum patterns that we're going to use, and then a little add-on to that D7, should you feel so inclined. Okay. The add-on to the D7 is the first thing we've got to look at. Now, for me, it used to be very tricky to play this. Now, I'm keeping this finger back here just so you can see what I did. I added my pinky up on that 5th fret. Oh yeah, that feels messed up, right? I saw everyone's faces kind of went sour when I did that. They're like, so to get to that, squeaky wheel gets the grease. Pinky gets laid down first. Then you stretch back. And if that doesn't work, then you modify your D7. Right? Yeah. If that doesn't work, you modify your D7. You don't worry about playing that 4th fret or 4th string. You just do 3 strings. There's nothing wrong with that. No one's going to come after you. I guarantee it. Okay, so this is on the sheet. You'll see I wrote D7 with an asterisk. I wasn't quite sure what to call it because it's still a D7 shape. Like there's so many different ones, but I will call this D7, probably call it on as we're going through, because you're putting your pinky finger on. Okay, so D7 shapes. There's the regular one, that gap tooth snake fangs. The super stretcher, if you can get there. Doesn't float your boat? Boop. 3 stringer. And I just put my pointer finger there. It's a tricky one. At first, when I learned this song, I could only play it on my soprano ukulele. So don't feel like, oh, Tina's showing me something I'll never be able to do. So this is my concert ukulele. There's days when I cannot play it on my tenor ukulele, so don't stress about it. Okay, so fret numbers are 5 on the first string, 2 on the second, and then third string open. But it sounds so cool. I really like it. Okay, give your fingers a little wiggle, because that is quite stretchy. Okay, yeah, I know, right? Okay, go back to just making a, we haven't done this one yet, just a plain old G chord. Okay, so let's follow this progression. You take your ring finger off, it makes a G6. Move back 1 fret, it makes a G diminished. It sounds so melty, right? Let's do that again. Go back to your G. So your standard G chord, G, G6, G diminished. All right. Okay, let's go to the D7. Just the regular Hawaiian D7. The fancy pants one with the finger on, however you're going to do it, however it gets you there. Okay. I'm so excited now. G6. Find your G6. I'm going to wait for a second before I put it down. Yeah, you guys are rocking it. G6. Good. It's like a big test. Oh, hands off. G diminished. Yeah, right on. D7. D7 on with the pinky finger on. However it gets you there. However. Yeah, right on. All right. Now your rhythm is going to be, when you're dealing, for this part of the song, when you're dealing with the G chords, it's all down strums. The D7 is going to be a split strum, 2 different chord shapes in 1 bar, but it's still a D7. So you can decide how you want to approach it. Check this out. Let's do that. So G6 to G diminished. 2 strums on each one. G6, G diminished. Let's do that again. Back up to G6, G6, G diminished, D7. Now, the island strum is usually down, down, up, down, up, right? So on the up, that one is where we're going to add in this. So you might want to do see how I made like just a little tiny D7 there? And I went down, down, up, down, up. So now I'm going to say off, 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 on, on. So you can get the feel of how that finger goes. So it's going to be like this. Off, off, on, on, off, off, on, on. Now we've got this. Off, off, on, G6, G diminished, D7, off, off, on. Then when you speed it up, it sounds like this. Has anyone got a guess about the name of the song yet?
Ain't She Sweet?
Nope.
No?
Nope, but it starts off the same sort of thing. There's a lot of songs that use this. Now, Barb, you totally inspired me with doing this. There's so many songs that use these colorful chord progressions like this, and it's so easy to play it not know the chord shapes, and then always have to go back and look at the chord charts to find them, right? So while we're sitting here, I'm just gonna, I hear my phone starting to ding, so I'm just gonna turn it off because we must not have interference while we learn this song. I just gotta, oh, there it is. I feel like I had a sort of upgrade on my phone, and finding the power button's always been a challenge since, I don't know. I don't think I turn it off very often, so that's the problem. Okay, so G6, G diminished, D7, off, off, on, on. Down, 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 off, off, on. G6, G diminished, D7. You guys got it? Yep. Now let's say you're like, I can't mute out that fourth string fast enough. I don't know if that's okay. Is that sound gonna be okay? Try it. It sounds okay to me. If you don't like that low G, you can sneak your thumb up there. I don't push down too much, I just touch it so that it mutes the string. You'll know it's working right because it'll probably tickle your thumb a little bit. Okay, so test time. G6. You're going to stare at your screens now. Let's see a G6. That's right. G diminished. Your standard D7. D7 with the pinky. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Make your G. And then your G6. And remember that off, off, on. Okay, check this out. G, G6. Oh, hang on here. My memory's going. Oh, no, that's right. Does anyone know the song yet? No? Okay. Let me play more of it. I'm going to sit and do a little. It's going to pull it up. I'm not going to. I'm not going to play the whole thing. Oh, it's on, off, on. That's what it is. Okay. There it is. Yeah, I had it wrong. It's easy to have that. It goes on, and it's so much fun, and it's all about on and off. Okay, so let me take a look at what I did there, and I'm gonna have to change that on, off, on. Well, let's get our G and our G6 going on. Okay, we'll just get that happening there. Make sure we got that on, off, on, off, on, off, on. Oh no, I did write it out right. I just memorized it wrong. Okay, we got our G, our G6. I can't say G and G minor or G and G6 fast enough for the rhythm to still work out. That's why I go on, off, on. Otherwise, I just won't have it. So G, G6, G, G6, right? That's what this chunk of the song is about. And then it's on, off, on. You might wind up doing all down strums when you start it. just so you get the feel of the chord shape. But I go like this. See, when I put that finger back down, I go, so I go, I'm not going to look at my hands, otherwise I'm going to screw it up right now. Just do that. So when I say on, that third finger's on, off, it's going to lift, okay? So you go on, off, off, on. So that's the down, down, up of the island strum. So in order to get that, practice this. On, off, on. Just do that. And then the last little strums, you know, they're all with the G already, so it's not so bad. On, off, on. You're like, Okay, so Crazy G, this song, Crazy G, you will find lots of people playing different versions of it. Jake Shimabukuro plays a pretty rockin' version of this song. And he's all over the board with it. It's just crazy on the strumming. So much fun. It does not have to be terrifying or intimidating. I'm going to feed it to you guys over a few sheets of music so that you look at it and hopefully you can memorize it and just have a good time with it. The first few chords I showed you, it's a vamp that returns. Okay, so let's go back to that G6, G diminished, D7. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. G6, G diminished, G7. Let's try staying down on this D7 and see what happens without doing the pinky. How's it sound? Let's try it out. Ready, go. G6, G diminished. Not bad. You miss it, that sweet high sound though. Oops. There it is. But that chord progression in itself, like Kat was saying, is that Ain't She Sweet? I mean, there's so many songs that use that sound, the G going to a G diminished, and a lot of people kind of panic when they hear a diminished chord, like, oh, it's got to be so hard, right? No, so colorful. Just a colorful sound, right? These melty chords, the diminished chords are often used as a passing chord, moving from one main chord shape to another in a song. That diminished just adds so much flow. So I would really encourage you, even if you haven't tried a lot of diminished chords before, this is a good opportunity for you to dig into this sort of stuff. The standard diminished chord shape looks like this, so that you've got, it looks almost like you got your D7 there, right? And then you've got that. These two fingers sit here and they cover the other two strings that didn't have any fingers on them. So again, D7. And now if I lay a finger down there, it looks like G on the wrong string, right? And then pinky finger goes there. And then whatever the note name is of those 4 frets, that's the name of the diminished 7th chord. This is the thing. That diminished 7th chord shape gives you 4 chords because of the way that chord is built. So it's an A diminished 7th, D sharp diminished 7th, or E flat, right? F sharp diminished 7th, because that's whatever the note is on the fret, right? Or C diminished 7th. You just learned a whole whack of chords, right? With just getting the one shape down. So And you might be like, well, that G diminished doesn't have all those fingers. That's because of the position of that chord, but it's a good start to using those diminished. So what I did when I started learning Crazy G was I would go and just have fun playing around with that diminished chord shape, because I played it a lot in a lot of Brazilian classical guitar, and I was like, oh, here comes the diminished chord. Welcome to my ukulele world. I was so excited. So that shape can look a little daunting, but it's the G chord on the wrong string with a baby finger laid down. Yeah. So keep in mind, anytime you're learning different chords, try to compare it to a chord you already know. If you can find it in there, right? Rather than being like, oh my gosh, look at all those fingers. G chord with a pinky laid down on the string that doesn't have anything. That's it. All right, so I did all this talking. Quiz time now. I'm looking for your G6 chord. I'm going to stare at the screen. Anyone that's got fingers available? G diminished? G diminished? Yeah, good. Your standard D7 with just the two fingers? Yeah, okay. What about the D7 with the pinky? That's right. Like that, or whoop, like that. Yes. Okay, let's do that little vamp. There we go. 1, 2, ready, go. G6, diminished, on, off, but I said it wrong. G6, G diminished, off, on. Yeah! One more time. Okay, one more time. It's fun to do. I often just strum this with my thumb or a finger, but it depends on how I play it. Sometimes I go like all crazy with it, you know, as the song progresses. Let's go to the G. The next section is going to be G, G6, off, oh sorry, on, off, on, off, on. One more time. On, off, on. Yes, I had to do this when I first got it going. On, off, on, off, on, because then I could feel how the finger, all right, the finger's being pulled off, slapped back on. And it really helped me. G minor. Let's try that. Starts off looking like your F chord on the wrong string set. See that? And then you lay a finger down there. When I first started doing this, my hands were so sore I couldn't lay down my ring finger, so I laid down my pinky. Trying to line it up on the camera and I'm looking at myself and it's all. So you can do that too. Keep in mind, when I show you guys chords like this, I just suck that finger out of the way. That's all I'm doing. Okay. So then it would be the same thing. On, off, on. So G minor 6. It's called a minor because of that finger there. Before it was a G6, now it's a G minor 6. Now to feel that color difference, do this. Play your G minor, whichever way. And now G minor 6. That finger moves back. Yeah. Hear that? It sounds cool, eh? Okay. G minor. So that's with the 3 fingers. G minor 6. G minor, chord push-up time. G minor 6. Yep. And then we've got on, off, on, off, on, off, on. Oh yeah. Now we got this. See how I just make these chords? And I'm keeping this finger anchored from G to G minor. Sometimes when I'm practicing these chords, I have to touch that finger in order to keep that one down while I'm practicing going from your regular G to a G minor, because I always try to touch the fretboard if I can, right? Have some sort of contact. So sometimes this is what will happen. G. It takes a while to get to that G minor if you've lifted everything off. Now this is finding common ground between chords that you know and chords that might be new. Practicing the chord shape to memorize it though. Ready? Let's try it. Hit your G minor. Find your G minor shape. Yes. All right. Oh, G minor 6. Oh, yeah, looks like an F chord on the wrong string. Yeah. Okay. Now check this out. I'm going to do my G, and I'm going to go on, off, on, and then G minor, on, off, on. Okay, here we go. On the G, on, off, on, G minor, on, off, on. Yeah, okay, back to the G. Let's practice that. G, on, off, on, G minor, on, off, on. You guys, this is so much fun. Okay, I feel like I should really show you the chart I did up now, because I think it'll make sense looking at it now. And I feel like, let me just make sure. I want to make sure I haven't done anything that's weird. Just a quick double check. Yeah, okay. Oops. Minimized everything, checked my work, and then minimized it. That's nice. There we go. I called it Crazy G Meeting the Chords. Now I'm just going to scroll up. What I did was I set up some of the chords here. So you've got your G6, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, then going to G diminished, D7, and then I put an asterisk over the D7 with the pinky finger. It can be a little bit tricky when you've got these chords that they all have the same name. How do you define them differently when it's still down at the 2nd fret, but you've added the pinky? So I put an asterisk, because I often put an asterisk on a chord that has something extra on the 1st string. Down here at the bottom, I've written out the chord progression for the different parts. So that first one, G6 to G diminished, it's just straight strums, G6, G6, and then G diminished, D7, off, on. So I didn't write out the G6 twice. I just did it the one time because I'm hoping you guys will get the feel for that it's a split bar, 2 beats on the G6, 2 beats on the G diminished, D7, the standard one, and then with the pinky. The next part here, you've got that 2nd part, and I've divided it into the G and G6, where you're going on, off, on. Okay. And then the G minor to G minor 6, that's the next clump of chords. And it's the same thing, on, off, on. Let me play it down here. I'll run through each chunk. Okay, I think at this point you guys have the G6, G diminished, and D7 part memorized, so I'm not too worried about that. I just want to make sure that you've got the feel of it. So I play that first line a couple times. Here we go. And I'll just play the one line. We'll walk through it. 1, 2, 3, 4. G6, G diminished, D7, off, on. good. Do it again. G6, G diminished, D7, off, on. Good. It's nice that I can see your fingers, and you guys also look pretty relaxed with this, which is nice. Okay, the G6, the G to G6, this line here, let's do that. Keep in mind that off means that G6 chord. So that's with up here. I'll just highlight that one. I'll leave that highlighted while we play this. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. G, G6, G, G6, G. That G6 is the off. Let's do that one again, and I'm going to say on, off through that whole progression so that you know that G is with that ring finger down, G6 is with it off. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. On, off, on, off, on, off, on. Yes! Okay, let's do that again. Ready? On your G, go. G, on, off, on, off, on. Hey, that's not bad. Okay, let's do the next clump now. That's the G minor to G6. So get yourself lined up with that G minor chord and have it set up in your mind that G minor to G minor 6 is just that ring finger once more lifting off and on. G minor is with it on, G minor 6 is with it off. Okay, here we go. So we're looking at this line right here. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. G minor, then off, on, off. Here we go. On, off, on. And let's do that line again. Ready? Here we go. G minor 6, G minor 6, on, off, on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go through those two lines. From the G to the G minor sound. Changing the quality of those chords as we go. Sounds nice and melty. I'm going to play through those two lines. I'm going to start with the G to G6 and then to the G minor part, and then I'm going to play it again so you guys can hear it. Join in when you feel ready. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. G6, G6, on, off, on. Here comes G minor. Yeah, right on. On, off, on. Back to G. Let's play it again. On, off, on. Next one, G minor. Yeah, right on. That's pretty good. Let's take a look at this one here. So we're back to the G, G6, G, G6, D7, off, on. So that's that with the pinky, right? You got this now. To end that section. So let's try that. So G, G6, G, G6, hop to your D7. Okay, let's do it again. Ready? On your G, G, G6, G, G6, D7, off, on. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Well, we better check out this next section here. G6, 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 G minor. Oh, I can't even talk anymore, all those G's. That one sounds like this. And that's just a regular D7 there. So I wrote down, up, down. That's your little island strum there, right? Let's try that one again. G6. Oh, I like that, hey? On your G6, boom, G diminished, so that's just on the first fret, and then D7. Look at you guys hopping around on all these different chords. So awesome. So awesome. Okay, I'm going to play this. I'm going to run through this twice. Then I'm going to go through this whole shebang down here. And then I'm going to show you guys how even with this chunk of crazy G, you can just play around on that song. When you feel like you're done playing on that highlighted section, you go back here, play that, and then just end on a regular G chord. I'm going to go through that. I'm going to play it. First part, I'm going to play it twice. Off, on, again. The next section, I'm going to play it all. Oops. Back to the top. Now I'm going to play it fast. Ready? Oops. And it's all just two different strum patterns. Every bar on this side is going to be all downs until you feel like you want to throw in some down ups. You know, I mean, you can change the strum pattern, but everything on the left side you can think of as all down strums. If there's two chords written in, that's because that chord gets 2 strums down and that chord gets 2 strums down. Every chord on this side is going to be the island strum. It might be split, where you get the off, on, or on, off, on, which is just a reflection of, like if it doesn't have the D7 written, it's because it's a reflection on the chords that were in the bar before. And you just sit, cycle around it, have a good old time. Now, I think I saw, somewhere in here I saw a, oh, there we go, chat. Oh, I see. Rosemary and Vicky had to go. Wow, Vicky's husband had breakfast ready. So nice. All right, so I'm going to keep sharing this because I think we're doing pretty good. Things that I might add to it before I put it up on the website, because like I say, I haven't put it up yet. I should indicate that this line is played twice. And that this line, it's I broke it down so it would be a little easier to read, but it's all just the first section of the song. And you can just go right back and play that vamp again. And there's nothing to stress about when you play it. I mean, I started practicing it walking around my house so that I would just kind of feel the rhythm of it and not look at any chords or anything. And I just said my chords out loud while I was walking around. It was just me in the house and my cup of coffee, so no one was having to listen to me while I was walking and talking. Now, you know what we should do though? We haven't done this for a little bit. It's time for a test. Okay, make your G6 chord. It's test time. I'm so serious. G6? Yeah, we got it. Good. Okay. G diminished. Good. G minor. Yeah, right on. Okay, G minor 6. That's the off. Yeah, good. Okay, so G, Good. G6. With these chords, these G chords, anytime it says 6, you're going to have this string open. So there's your G, there's your G6. Here's your G minor, G minor 6. And this also looks like an F chord on the wrong string. Yeah. Okay, so that can be a little bit of a helper for you. D7. Yeah. Now that fancy D7 with the on. That's right. Whatever gets you there. That. When I first started doing this song, I would bar and I would just make my D chord like this. I go right across rather than playing the D7, because this position right there or there caused so much cramping in this side of my hand, I couldn't even keep my hand on the fretboard. So I modified it and just played a regular D. Nothing bad's going to happen if you do that. In fact, you might just keep on having a good time with the song, right? I'm going to play it now with the D bar chord like this. Oh, nothing bad happened and the world didn't collapse. Oh, look at that. So if this is a pain, this doesn't work for your hand, maybe this will. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing bad's going to happen. You're just going to have yourself a great old time playing all these different chords. You learn so many in the key of G in this song. There's nothing bad that's going to happen. Can you imagine if something bad happened because you played a D bar chord instead of a D7? What sort of world would that be? That would be crazy. Oh, crazy G. Crazy, yeah, there you go. Now we're coming to the end of our hour, and I wanted to check in with you guys and see how it's feeling. Your hand, your fretting hand might be feeling kind of a little crampy on that side, maybe, and maybe you're like, oh, Tina, you should have told us about the bar chord at the beginning that we could do. No, you have to learn all the chords. Learn them all. But you find what works for you, right? It's going to be different ways, right? Seems to me, trying to go back in time to when I had my little soprano Kala and I was playing. I think when I made the D bar chord and I tried to get a different sound, because we've got this, right? That sound. I think what I did was I did a little strum down here and then did a whole big, all the strings. So I strummed just a few strings. Yeah, I think that's probably what I did to copy that and not have to stress out. Oh, okay, now I've wandered off to the land of D chords. Okay, check-in time. G6, had anyone played that G6 very much before? No, yeah. It's a handy chord to play. And that G diminished, don't be afraid of diminished chords, just dig into them. And this sounds equally awesome on baritone, in case anyone's playing with their baritone. Now my baritone is sitting at Lee's Music, waiting for me to pick it up, but I ran out of time dealing with all this stuff because I thought, oh, I need a strap on that baritone. But I think this song would sound great on an 8-string baritone. Just sound really busy, right? Like extra busy with all those strings. Oh. All right, final test. I'm going to try to mix it up a lot. Okay, ready? Get myself ready. Okay. G minor 6. G minor. Barb's got it. Nice. Oh yeah, Kat's got it. Dawn's got it. Diane's got it. Okay, now I'll put it up. There you go. G minor 6. Looks like an F chord on the wrong string. Okay, take your hand away. G. Yeah, there you go. All the triangle shapes, that's what we're doing today. Okay, take your hand away. D7. Alright, good old gap tooth snake fangs. Take your hand away. D7 with that pinky added. Whatever fingering works for you. Yeah, right on. I see lots of people stretching up there. I often do the stretch back. I just find it easier on my finger. So I stretch back. It sounds funny. You know, you wouldn't think it'd make a difference, but if you anchor that one first and then reach back, it can be easier. Sometimes doesn't make a difference, but you know, you can always try. And what's my alternative for those two chord shapes? If you don't like that, you don't like that, what else can you do? Yeah, there we go, look at that. Yeah, just do that. You could probably do that too. You'll miss that sweet high sound though. That's the only thing. All right, G diminished. G diminished. Diane's got it. Yeah, Barb's got it. Paula's got it. Right on. Oh yeah, look at you guys. Hey, yeah. Right on. G6. Did we do G6? I don't remember now. Looks a lot like another chord that you play all the time. Yeah. G6 and D7. They're the same, right? Those two fingers. Yeah, right on. And G minor 6 and F. Well, that sounds weird together, doesn't it? I don't like that as much. Oh, that's because it's okay. All right, so we got G minor 6, G6, G minor. You guys have got that. G, all the different D7s. I feel really good. I'm proud of you guys. You got all that going on. Barb, I'm so inspired by you. Thanks, Barb. Thank you so much. And this crazy G, it's such a fun thing to play. I do have the tabs for it, but I found when I looked at the tabs, I had a hard time memorizing it. So I don't want to give you guys tabs, just chord charts and work through it a chunk at a time. And then maybe it'll be one where you'll be like me. You'll be walking around playing just that first part even, right? Until your whole family's sick of it. Because my kids, I start to play that, and they're like, do a different song.
That sounds like so many of the older songs.
Yep.
Like, I'm trying to think, every time you play it, I hear something different from another song, but I can't think of any of their names.
It's all the songs, I think. It's just all the songs.
It's just wonderful. Oh, I love it.
It's so much fun, and it gets your fingers doing different shapes, gets your mind thinking maybe a little bit differently about these songs, and chances are good, like you're saying, Diane, it sounds like a lot of different songs. Maybe now you're going to go out and find some of these songs, and you'll be like, okay, that diminished chord, I can hop onto that. That's not a big deal. And Tina already told me that the other diminished chord shape, the full-on one, is like a G chord with your pinky added on the first string. That's not so bad. Right, then away you go. Yeah.
Would be a great intro for Ain't She Sweet or something like that, really, you know.
It would, absolutely. And you could totally toss that into a song. Yeah. It's so much fun. Just such a good time. You guys, I gotta go. I gotta keep reorganizing my room and maybe have some more coffee. But Barb, thanks again for the inspiration. We'll be getting more of this. I'll see what I can add to that sheet today. I'll put in like the 2 times and like some of the notes from today, and yeah, we'll do.
Glad you had fun with it.
Such a good
time. Yeah, thank you, Tina. It was fun.
Oh, you're most welcome. Kat, show it to your ukulele group.
I will. I sure will.
Yeah, because like Dawn was saying, it would be a great intro to Ain't She Sweet. It might, chunks of this song could really add a lot to several songs, I think. So, yeah, have fun. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye. Thanks a lot.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
Fun, fun, fun.
Have a good week.
Take care.